Our last speaker for this session is Mr. Charles Fenstermaker, who considers himself the least tech-savvy person. I don't agree with that. He is highly interested in AI and its impact on the future of professional services in business. As a president of Fenstermaker, he will have a different opinion on that.
Yeah, first of all, I said not high tech because I look at this technology through a different lens than a bunch of our technically capable employees. So first I wanted to give you all a little overview of what our company does. Fenstermaker and Associates, we're a third generation civil engineering, surveying, and environmental consulting firm. We have offices in 3 states and about 250 employees. Sorry. I had to put this in there because it's a true story. My initial thought several years ago, I went to the College of Engineering research projects for the students, and they were talking about AI, and my first thought was, could they create an application that would make this guy, would it tell him if his outfits matched in the morning? That true story, that was my first thought of UL with AI. So I've learned a lot since then, and you can do more. But the lens, like I said, I look through a different lens. So, and I'm not an engineer. I like to say I wasn't smart enough. I couldn't solve for X, so I went the business route. I'm not a surveyor, but I do have to create an environment where those people feel comfortable putting their name, their signature, their licensure on the products that they produce. And so I can't really dictate to them, thou shalt use X, Y, and Z, and where is AI. So again, it's just a different lens for me. The way I looked at this is, for this presentation, was the good things about AI, some of the neat things that I don't know if y'all see in the civil engineering surveying space, and then some of the bad things or challenges. So the first one is bottom-up innovation. I have always believed gone are the days where you hire a large IT coding firm and you build software in-house. It's now kids, younger, tech-savvy people find their software online, and it's more about APIs and connectors. And how do we wire that up and make it talk to this database and that database? This does provide a playground of technology for our staff, and that does excite me. You can see it in some of the projects that we've done where they're writing their own code, they're finding their own solutions, and they're innovating on a daily basis without any assistance from an IT group. Also, and I'm a reader, so I'll show this chart much bigger, but one of the challenges I think the workforce has is the reduction in workable staff, and you can see that in this chart of what really started happening from what I read around COVID time. So now we're experiencing these huge inflation in wages and finding good people. That's just a reality, and AI can actually offset some of those needs. These are just some of the cool things that I found. Our team may not think they're as cool as I do, but I figured it was at least a baseline. So generative design, back in the day, you survey a tract of land, you figure out all of the zoning requirements, the development codes, and you lay out 15 different options for a building. Now you just drag the building in there. It tells you how many parking spots you need, where you can put landscaping. So just very interesting to me. That changes the game in our world. Reality capture is a big one, and I think you talked about it on the environmental side, but from a maintenance, from a monitoring and quality control. So taking a drone out, throwing a camera on top of a vehicle with laser scanning. These are some of the things you can do with it. On the bottom, you can see infrastructure, counting the cracks in the infrastructure. We used to get paid to go do that by hand, so this changes the game from a financial standpoint, which I'll talk about in a bit. Up at the top, you'll see, the AI grabbing all of the public street signs, the public infrastructure. Same on the other map. So this changes the way we capture things. So, like I said, on the bad side for me, and this is really the part that concerns me, is we are a people-led business. And this can disrupt how many people we need. That scares me because we are a family business. We treat our employees like family. And the idea that we get stuck behind the 8 ball and go, holy cow, we don't need that many people anymore, is something I want to stay focused on. So the challenge with that is getting our team to play with it enough that we will know what disrupts us. It's scary at face value. I had one consultant told me that This is the first technology that CEOs are interested in, more so than their team. And it's because of that very fact. It changes the game. And so if we can't play with it, we won't see it coming. And if we don't see it coming, it will disrupt us more. That's what scares me. Another side of it is we sell hours. We're a consulting firm, just like a law firm. So we do this work on this project on a time and materials basis. Sometimes we do it on fee, but a lot of times it's time and materials. So every hour we work on something, we bill it. And I've got two examples. One, we did a project for the Louisiana Watershed Initiative, and we finished $2 million under budget. We saved the state $2 million. That's awesome, right? My payroll stayed the same. So, you know, our team, look at what we did. We automated all of this stuff. I'm like, damn it, you cost us $2 million, right? It's one way to look at it. It's not the right way, but it is part of this reality. Another one we were looking at, we do surveying and we connect the dots. The surveyor ties in this thing and surveys this thing, and they connect the dots. This is a roadway, this is a this. And they were working on, let's just automate the dot connection. And I said, that's great. How much is that going to cost us? And our head of survey goes back and puts pen to paper, comes back next week and says, $750,000, because we're going to still maintain that payroll, and we're not going to have people billing those hours for doing that work. That's a challenge for us. But at the same time, you need to automate. So the reality with this, and the scary thing too, is that you can't put the cat back in the bag. You know, our team is going to use it. We have to let them, enable them to use it. It is the right thing to do, but it's a challenge. This was one I just wanted to show because this is what I see coming. This is an engineering consulting group that studies engineering firms. So really large firms will start adopting AI right about now into 2025, 2026. Mid-sized firms, maybe 2029. By the end of 2033, everybody's 95% of their plans, or so to speak, are going to be generated via AI. That's a lot of billable hours. And he who figures this out last loses, is the way I look at it. So really, what are our next steps? I've really looked at processes where we identify where AI can impact what we do. And before we actually go automate that through AI, let's look at and let's do a risk assessment. What is that going to do to our business before we start doing it? And then how do we start working on development or prioritize development? The second thing that I've asked our team to do is to identify the key areas where AI will disrupt our business. I want them Googling for it, searching the YouTubes, going, holy cow, this is the future. Because if I find it, they don't look at it the same. And the other way is looking at what portion of our work is fee-based and what portion of our work is time and materials. In a vacuum, we would prioritize the fee-based work. And lastly, I think this is what got me here on this panel, is because I've poked Ramesh in the university of, could you study us? Could the engineering department come in and tell us, engineer to engineer, what's this world going to look like in our space 5-10 years down the road? Again, under the idea that we need to prepare. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank y'all.